one of the most difficult things to do as you scale your business is maintain relationships with your customers. When you're a smaller shop, it's much easier because you have the time to do it. But as you scale, it's really difficult to keep that down-home feel, that really good relationship as the owner with your customers, because you just don't have the time to do it. In this video, I had the opportunity to sit down with Thomas Moran from High Five Plumbing. This is a pretty big operation out of Colorado. They're doing really awesome things, but he's figured out a way to use automation to maintain that down-home feel so that the customers really feel like they're connecting with the company, all the while they're able to scale the business. Let's jump in. Hey everybody, Ryan here with CHIIRP. Thank you so much for taking a minute to watch this video. I'm super excited. I'm here with Thomas Moran. He is from High Five Plumbing and now HVAC, right, Thomas?
Yeah, our name is officially High Five Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Oh, cool. So that's quite the domain name, right?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thomas has been with us for a little while now with CHIIRP. Tell us a little bit about High Five. What's your position? Tell us about the company. Tell us that story a little bit.
Sure, yeah. Like you said, my name is Thomas. I'm the marketing director here at High Five. High Five started as a plumbing company back in 2012 by Levi and Cassie Torres. We did plumbing for 12 years after that, and then earlier this year we expanded into HVAC and launched that division, and then even more recently launched our electrical division. So we're definitely in a chapter of growth right now, which is really exciting. But yeah, CHIIRP has been a valuable part of that over the past 6 or 7 months now.
So 6 or 7 months. So okay. Oh, I wanted to, before we get into CHIIRP, I wanted to bring this up. You guys are becoming kind of popular for some of the really cool ways that you're able to attract technicians into your business. Tell us a little bit about that. We saw the like the baseball cards kind of thing that you're doing. Obviously, everybody's struggling to get, it's a big pain point for companies is attracting technicians. What can you speak to that as far as your story there and how you're attracting high level talent?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we try to do our best to differentiate ourselves in any way that we can. You touched on the baseball card. So sport imagery is really present through a lot of our marketing. Levi and Cassie are both big baseball fans. So like you mentioned, all of our business cards are actually look like baseball cards. So we like to roll out new seasons. So right now we're actually working on season 3. So we're going to have a new design of sporting cards for the whole team here shortly. Other ways that we go about it is obviously just word of mouth and just making sure that the people who work at High Five, everybody who's on our team is passionate about it and is bought into High Five and knows the things that make us different. We try to do and provide our technicians with an excellent workplace environment. We start most of our days at the warehouse all together, which really builds a fantastic team culture. We have company meetings where the entire organization, both the office staff and the field staff, we all get together and celebrate wins from the previous month and talk about opportunities for growth. I would say that as far as developmental opportunities go, those are one of the biggest things that attract people to High Five. Levi and Cassie are extremely committed to supporting people in whatever kind of professional development that they want. So even if it's as drastic as somebody stepping in from the office staff who wants to be a technician, we have an awesome story actually of a guy who I believe started, Tim, he's now a technician, but he started in the marketing division, then shifted over, wanted to try his hand kind of in the more operational side of the office, and then after a while said, no, I want to learn how to become a plumbing tech. So took a wild journey there, but is now actually a full-blown field technician. So again, I would say one of the biggest things that sets High Five apart is that we have robust training opportunities, and whatever sort of development or career goals that you have, Levi and Cassie want to do their best to empower that and to make sure that you're enabled to kind of make that possible.
Dang, that's cool. That's really cool. How many technicians are you guys? How big are you guys? How much revenue? Tell us that story.
Yeah, so I would say this year alone, we're projected, I think, at over 67% growth year over year, which is massive. Obviously, with HVAC and electric being added on, that was kind of expected that we knew that we were going to be growing a lot. But even within the plumbing division, we're seeing a ton of growth year over year. Right now, I think we're right in the 30s as far as total technicians go, and like I said, growing every day. So we're onboarding new technicians literally every week. So like I said, we're definitely just in an intense period of growth right now, which has been really exciting. And now that we have this new facility here in Golden, Colorado, which is much larger, it really enables us to kind of sustain that growth. And even on the operational side, from the office staff, we brought on a CFO like 5 or 6 months ago named Dan, who's been doing an amazing job just kind of helping us lay the groundwork for the growth that we're expecting to continue undergoing.
Oh, dang. So cool. 30 technicians. So you're a serious business.
Again, just the percentage growth. I believe year over year, I think right now we're projected between 67 and 70% growth in revenue year over year. So
that's incredible. Golden, Colorado. Where is that in relation to Denver?
So we're just a little bit closer to the mountains. I mean, downtown, we're basically a straight shot west of downtown. You can hop on 6th and be in downtown
so you're
in 20 minutes.
In the area, okay. You ever go to Blue Pan Pizza?
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a Blue Pan right near here in Golden. They've actually partnered with us for some of our events.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's some of the best pizza I've ever had. If you're ever in Colorado, check out Blue Pan Pizza. Yeah. Awesome. So, okay. So let's dive in. You said you've been with CHIIRP 6-7 months. Tell us about the process that helped you make the decision to go with CHIIRP, and maybe go into like the onboarding and that side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I stepped into this role, I joined High Five back in early January of this year. So coming up on 1 year here at High Five. And one of the main opportunities that we saw was, just the ability to respond as quickly as possible and being as in touch with clients as quickly as we can. That was just an opportunity that we identified pretty early on. And our call center is fantastic. And I would say, that is already a very, very well-oiled machine. But with a lot of these online platforms and with a lot of different types of communication that happen with clients, we just realized that there was a need to kind of automate that in a way that just made it quicker, more efficient, so that it's taking less time for call center. There's no delay in getting to some of these leads as soon as they come in, or if there's an abandoned call, whatever the case may be, just getting that initial communication out as soon as possible. That was just a huge value add for us. And so when we found out what CHIIRP offered and how wide the offering was, as far as all the different digital platforms and directories that you can integrate it with, ServiceTitan, and the way that it integrates well with ServiceTitan, we just saw that there were countless opportunities that we were able to identify how we could implement CHIIRP just to be much quicker in our whatever those automated communications were. And so it's not to say that it's fully replaced obviously our communication with our clients, but just getting that initial piece of communication out is really what's going to differentiate you from 90% of the other companies in your market. Because a lot of times, even 5 to 10 minutes after a lead becomes, after we receive a lead from any sort of online platform, there's a shot that there's already countless other companies who have received those leads with the way that a lot of these online directories and platforms work. So CHIIRP has enabled us to basically be the first one in that person's inbox, in their text messages, and giving them communication to know that we're here, we're ready to chat, and we can have a qualified, certified technician out to their house as soon as, same day, depending on availability. So CHIIRP has definitely kind of answered that need.
That's
as far as the
let me jump in there real quick. That's a really good point though that you bring up, because it's never been my intention or goal as I've built this business to replace human beings. Like you said, you have a well-oiled machine, and that's why we talk to companies. We say, hey, look, you may have a well-oiled machine. Let's just see if we can improve little incremental improvements here and there. It's not a matter of, hey, let's wipe out what you're doing. It's like, hey, you have this well-oiled machine. Let's see if we can just bump it by 2%, 3%, 4%, whatever. And you say that, it's like we're just turning the humans into superhumans. We're not trying to take away what they're doing. And so that speed to lead is, people don't even realize that if they used CHIIRP for that one of 100 different automation, right? If they use it for that one thing, it makes up for, it's worth it all day long, right? So that's great.
With all the news, with how competitive markets are and and all these new softwares and whatnot coming out, and all of the countless lead channels that to be a growing and competitive company you have to be present on. it has it, yeah, you're talking about what might be a 2 to 5% difference, but that is what will make the difference. That is what will set your organization apart from all the other
Right.
companies in your market. So yeah,
Exactly.
it sounds maybe insignificant when you put it 2 to 5%, but at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
That could
That's
be
what gives you an edge.
could be millions of dollars, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, great. So okay, one of the things that I'm like, so we have these great strategies, right, of how to use CHIIRP to do it. But one of the things that we really feel sets us apart is our ability to kind of partner with a company and help them implement these strategies within their business through the onboarding process, through the ongoing relationship. Has that been a positive experience for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say like you're mentioning, kind of during that back and forth when we were getting everything set up and onboarding, there was a lot of really helpful communication as to like, well, we have this idea for a campaign. How have you guys seen that successfully implemented in the past, or whatever the case may be? Just really honing it and kind of taking sort of these templatized sort of conversations that you might include in your campaigns, and then taking whatever that foundation is, knowing that that's the most the most effective or functional sort of base to start from, and then making it high five or making it whatever your brand is. So Levi and Cassie, one of the biggest value adds from High Five is that we're still family owned and operated 12 years after our creation. And so people love to know that. People love communicating with Levi and Cassie. We still get countless clients calling us and being like, "Oh, are Levi and Cassie in?" And we're to the point now where unfortunately those kinds of conversations with Levi and Cassie and our clients we're not able to accommodate them all the time, but people love the fact that we're still family owned and operated. So one of the ways that we've kind of personalized our messaging when we onboarded was it was coming from Cassie, and it was Cassie's language and the way that she communicates with our clients. People love Cassie, so it feels like it's coming from Cassie. And it did originally come from Cassie when we
Right.
set it up on the onboarding process, but we started with those suggestions from CHIIRP, and it's been awesome.
This is huge because, and I talk about this a lot. I've talked about it from stage, and it's like this is a really important point. One of the biggest struggles that companies face is when they go from they're crushing it right when they're small because the owners
Right.
are able to have a relationship with their clients. The moment they start to scale, they start to lose that. They become corporate and they become cold, and they can't. There's no relationship, and so you go, how do you scale this feeling that I'm creating between me as the owner and the customer? And we
Right.
found to do that is automation. It's like it's not reasonable to expect Cassie at this point to pick up the phone and call every single customer. She couldn't do it. It's just logistically impossible, right?
Right.
And so you go, okay, let's blend her voice, her personality into our automation so that now the customer is getting those interactions. She's feeling like she's very close to the owner. And if she does need to, there is a channel
Right.
to get there. But now you can deal with 100 customers with one click and have that same feeling, that same creation of a relationship without having to do it manually, which is
Yeah.
obviously
Well,
huge.
yeah,
So
I mean, absolutely. And I mean, just the fact that there's so many touch points that you're able to include in those automations is so invaluable to us because, if we were to leave those sorts of follow-ups exclusively to our call center, like we could hire 4 more call center folk that would have to dedicate their entire day to that kind of follow-up. So the fact that we're able to build these automations out that are touching, that are reaching out to these customers or potential customers 3 and 5 times within the course of 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, it's insanely helpful. And then we're getting those notifications and know exactly where they're at kind of in their customer journey. It's wildly helpful.
Wow.
So
Wow. What have been some specific, if you're able to recall, what have been some specific successes you've seen with CHIIRP as far as if that's more revenue, if that's a raise in a certain conversion, or if that's just something more philosophical like relationship building? Tell me something specific that you've seen
Sure.
from being with us.
Yeah, I mean, I touched on this earlier, but I'll hit it again. There are, and I'm going to express a frustration that I'm sure 90% of your clients probably share with a lot of these online directories like Yelp, like Angie's, like Home Advisor now, Angie Ads or Angie Leads.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of transparency between that organization and us, the client who's paying for these leads. Like, before we had integrated CHIIRP, it was not uncommon for us to hop on the phone with what we thought was a fresh lead and find out that 4 other companies have already reached out to them in the time that we got the lead. And so, like, it just kind of like cuts the chaff. It's just saving our call center a lot of time, because then once somebody replies with that and says outright that they're no longer, a viable lead or whatever the case may be, we're not burning our time and money and energy trying to revive, make that lead work again. And also, we're just seeing a better conversion on those platforms because we're reaching out as soon as we get any correspondence from them. As soon as we receive the lead, we know that they've already been reached out to. We can follow up shortly after, as the human being in the call center can follow up. But the fact that CHIIRP is laying that groundwork and getting that piece of communication out that quickly, I mean, it definitely improves our conversion rate on basically all those platforms that we're able to use it on. So.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, cool. So last question. There are a lot of companies looking at CHIIRP all the time. We're always bringing on new companies, and one of the hesitations, one of the fears is, another thing to add, another thing to do. What would you say to a company that's exploring, kind of thinking, hey, this is something we want to do, but we're not 100% sure? What would you say to somebody like that?
I mean, this is going to sound maybe like a hard answer, but the truth of the matter is, in today's day and age, if you're not open to trying out new tools, you're going to fall behind. I mean, especially with AI becoming more and more present, there's all these new softwares that are hitting the market. So I think, first of all, it starts from a place of like, we have to all shift our mindset to be open to at least trying new tools. CHIIRP is user friendly. Like we did not have a huge there's no steep learning curve. We got our entire call center team up and running with CHIIRP very quickly. There was very little headache. Again, I would say the CHIIRP team was extremely helpful in helping us build out our campaigns early on, identifying issues. Every time that a new integration I've identified or a new campaign that we want to build, every time that's happened, I've had no trouble getting it set up. So I would just say, if you're not willing to try new tools, that doesn't bode well for the future. But B, as far as like how user-friendly and easy the process was getting CHIIRP up and running, I would say it's a no-brainer at least to give it a go.
Dang. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for your time today. Very much appreciated. Looking forward to figuring out more ways we can help improve your business, but thanks for jumping on, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, Ryan.
Have a great day. We'll see you.